Hold on. Nacho, you just passed. How do you feel now?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I gotta say, when I passed the exam, it felt surreal. It was like relief, disbelief, and pride all at once, especially knowing how I think this was such a hard, like really hard one for me, due to the short, condensed timeline. So right now I'm on cloud nine. I got a call back on an interview that's for my dream job. So I'm feeling great, Scott, thanks to you and your team.
That's awesome. So 6 weeks is a quick turnaround to get your PMP. 6 weeks or so ago, how confident were you that you could pass the PMP versus like right now?
Oh my goodness. So, all right, 6 weeks. I really had 29 days in course. I counted
Okay.
the days that I spent in the course. Yeah. So at 6 weeks, I think it took me a while to figure out um, what to do, how to do it. I was not confident at all. And gosh, I like before the course, I felt really scattered. I was second guessing myself. There's so many resources out there. I didn't know what to use, what to believe, what to ditch, any of that. Afterward,
Mhm.
now I feel calm, decisive. I'm hoping I'm going to get this new role and I'm going to get to coach and mentor a couple of people on the team who also want to get their PMP.
There you go.
So
That's awesome.
I think the biggest
That's
thing in
amazing. You did so good. That's awesome. Now, we went through 29 days, got it like you did it magically. There was a lot of things that we used in the course, like the 50-50 game, the accountability calls, the accountability games. Like, what helped you? What tool did you go like, oh, that really resonated with me?
Okay, well, I love the 50-50 game. It became this weird sort of comforting thing, like a security blanket.
Okay.
Seriously, I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's true. Every time I got stressed out, or if I answered a bunch of questions and they were wrong, and I felt myself spiraling, I would just go back to the 50-50 game and just start hitting them to get my momentum going, to prove to myself I can do this and I know this material. So I'd say 50-50 was huge. I think 3 weeks in, your team really started. I started doing the coaching sessions and doing the live calls. And that's when I realized that this was really all about figuring out how the exam actually thinks and that your team and
Hmm.
your materials are geared toward that. So that was the big aha for me. It wasn't about memorizing, it was much more about how how does this exam think? How do I adopt a PMI mindset?
Okay. So is that the biggest misunderstanding that you think people might come into this? Like, what is that biggest misunderstanding that people arrive to the PMP with?
I definitely believe the biggest misunderstanding is that people think the PMP is about memorization processes, but it's really a judgment exam. So
Oh,
the exam questions aren't testing how well you memorize, they're testing your judgment.
hmm,
How do you
that's
make
cool.
principled decisions in really messy situations? And each one of those questions was really a messy situation.
Right. Well, that's good. I like that you had that perspective. When someone thinks it's memorizing, then they end up like creating like this, I don't know, there's some like tower that's confusing in their mind. But if they just say, how do I make good decisions in real life in weird
Yes.
spots? I like the way you said it better than me. I think you nailed it. Let's go back to the live coaching. We're hitting a lot rapid fire, which is cool. Like the live coaching with me and Jan, what was the benefit of the live coaching and how'd you get the most out of it?
Oh my goodness. For me, the live coaching was everything. That's why I chose the program because I
Mhm.
literally felt as if 24/7, if I was confused, I had a question, if I needed clarity, I could text, I could call. It was an amazing team. Like it definitely took a team to get me through this. And I love the accessibility. And also the live coaching calls turned confusion into clarity, literally, because I
Mm,
could ask real questions and hear how to think, not just what to memorize. So again, it's
that's
that
awesome.
next level, helping me understand how I should be thinking.
That's good. I like that. And you were very, I mean, it was like, it was kind of stressful. I mean, 29 days is not a long time. It's technically one day less than a month, except for like the 28th day. I don't know of the month. Like, were you super nervous like through the process, or let's just be honest? How did you feel?
So I'd say for the first 21 days, I felt like, oh, I felt as if this is so big. I mean, I'm just determined I'm going to do it through sheer
Hmm.
brute force. And then the last 7 days, that's when the light bulb really, I just, all of these things that the coaches were talking about and that the process videos showed me it all fell into place. And so suddenly, literally 7 days before my exam, like I really felt confident, like I've got it. I got it. I got it. And then I started tanking on some questions and I lost a little confidence, but I went back to my 50-50 game, and regained confidence there. I had a couple of really clutch one-on-one coaching sessions with Coach Jan, and she was
Yep.
amazing, absolutely amazing. And she got me back, like my whole headspace back into that winning space.
Yeah. I think that's important because like we can see you, we know you have it in you as you go through, but it's like it is stressful. Like you're out for a job, part of that conditional, is that hey, you get the PMP, all that stuff. That's a lot of stress on anybody. You've been doing this for a while, like you're a good project manager, but still it can wrap up. Like, how did you manage that stress like in the exam to say, this is it, I've got to do it? How'd you manage yourself?
Oh boy. Um, how did I manage myself during the exam? During exam day?
Yeah, I'll take anything. Exam day, during
Okay,
the exam,
exam day, let
whatever.
me tell you. Okay, I made sure my workspace was pristine. I went out, I got my favorite dinner the night before. I love Indian food, so I got my
Okay.
grilled eggplant, eggplant barta at our local
There you go.
Indian joint. Love it. And then I lined up all of my favorite foods for the morning. So I squoze fresh orange juice and grapefruit juice. I had Rice
Nice.
Krispie treats, apples, and bananas. So I was fully prepared because I think it's so important to feed our brains. I know Rice Krispie treats are a junk food, but everything else was natural sugar, and our brains run best on glucose. So I
Okay.
hit it really hard with all the fruit juices, and just to keep my energy up and my brain functioning 110%.
That's awesome. That's good. And I love how you came out there, you did it, you scored a crazy good score. As you went through, you mentioned a little bit about videos. We are very decisive in the fact that we don't do boot camps. Like it just doesn't, it's not an effective means in our minds. When you watch the videos, how'd you like the videos? How are they different? What do they give you?
I love the videos. The videos were different than, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, I poked around. Who doesn't poke around to see,
Yeah.
which course do you want to take or how is someone else teaching it? Again, all of your assets and including the videos, it teaches a mindset and patterns, not just
Hmm.
content. So honestly, I didn't find anything else out there. I actually just quit looking because it was like, why am I looking? I have the best tool for me because I'm
Yeah.
I am being taught the mindset and the patterns. And so that's important, that PMI mindset, the patterns that show up in that mindset. And then there's another, it's like you peel another layer of the onion and it's the patterns of the exam, right? And so
Mm.
that's the other thing that your process teaches. It's the patterns that are embedded in the PMI mindset plus the patterns that are embedded in the actual exam and in those
Talk to me
questions.
about the patterns that you see on the exam. Someone might not know what you mean, but like give me the best you got on that. What do you think?
Sure. So, for example, my exam was filled with all types of hybrid questions. So I had to really be a decoder, and your
Mm.
team and your videos, all of your assets they taught me how to decode the questions. So if the question doesn't say this is a hybrid, project, but it might give you some kind of clue that clues you
Mhm.
into, there might be something you recognize from agile there, like maybe they're doing some scrum, but then again maybe they're using traditional predictive gates, so that would be a
Right.
clue to me. Oh, this is hybrid, it's going to be extra messy. But I could
Yeah.
easily eliminate then two responses to the question that didn't fit hybrid. So already I'm right back at
Yeah.
50-50, which I've said earlier is my comfort zone. Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good way to think about it because you were decoding, you were taking it on, you're not getting crazy, like, stressed or anything like that. That's good. When you mentioned something a little earlier, it said like this was best for me. Now there's other people like there's no one like you, Nacho. But there's other people that are kind of like you. Okay.
Sure.
Like what did you mean by about me? Like what kind of person like might be best for like this type of learning from your perspective?
Sure. So I think about, look, I have almost 12 years at, a Fortune 100 company doing, being a PM. And
Hmm.
so I had a lot of information up in my head. Now, some of that I needed to unlearn in order to learn PMI mindset because they can be conflicting when you've been in the same organization for almost 12 years. There's a way of doing things and it may not align with PMI. I needed really to be, I needed a team and a village all around me to pick me
Yeah.
up and say, we acknowledge you have this expertise and that's awesome. And there are going to be some things that you'll benefit by setting them aside. Let us show you how to do that so you can make space for the PMI mindset, which is going to help you do really, really well. Help you. You may learn some things you want to implement in your next role, and it's going to definitely help you make it through the exam successfully. So for me personally, I needed humans. I really needed
Hmm.
humans. I know this is an online test, and there's ways that you can just only do online preparation for it. I knew that I needed humans, and I needed the humans to understand who I am, what my learning style is like. Uh, you know, I wanted to be able to say to the humans who are helping me, hey, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Just tell it to me like it is. Give me the advice straight, the tips. Don't sugarcoat anything. I want to get as much as I can from you. And everybody on your team rose to that occasion. So for me, learning is a very personal experience, and I needed not only the different technological options, but I needed the human team's ability to adapt all of those materials and all of their thinking to suit what I needed. And they did that. And what's cool about the team is I saw them do that on our coaching calls as well, right? Because now suddenly you're on a live coaching call and tough questions are being asked. And
Right.
they're coming, each person on that call, like me, wants to pass the exam successfully. And they're all coming from a different place with a different background and
Hmm.
different experiences. And so there's a lot for the coaches to juggle, and they adapt the content to meet the needs of not just the person asking the question, but they'll often, like I call it, looking in your bag of, your toolkit. Okay, Nacho
Right.
understands it this way, so I'll serve it up this way. Sue understands it that way, I'm going to serve it up to her that way. So lots of
Right.
adaptability on the staff's part.
That's awesome. Well, Nacho, this has been great. I'm very excited for what's next for you. No pressure on, what you got next for the job, but, crossed fingers and toes. And I know they're going to love you as much as we do. So
Well,
good
thank you so
job.
much. Oh my gosh, and Scott, I mean, you didn't ask me. I don't know. I think the golden question, would I do I
Oh,
believe I would
go
have
ahead.
passed without this course? And I would say, no, I would not have passed without your course because I believe that it fundamentally changed how I approached the exam. So I'll leave you with that.
That's a good one.
Wait,
I
I
always
got one
get,
more to leave you with. I'm
oh,
thinking that Scott's course doesn't train you to study harder. It trains you, it trained me to think like PMI. So there's a difference
oh,
between studying
okay.
really, really hard and then thinking like PMI.
That's awesome. Well, that's really, really good, Nacho. Well, this will not be the last time we talk. I'm
Nope.
excited for, what is it, tomorrow is the interview or what?
Thursday. Thursday. I've got
Okay, Thursday.
8
So we got two
interviews at the
days.
organization. Yep. And I'm
Yeah.
studying and pulling together, all of my thoughts. And thank you for all of your help along the way.
Yeah, I know you're going to over prepare in a good way. Just, be confident that they're going to like you. And if they don't, then, somebody else will. So,
Yeah.
so we're
And
good to go.
one other thing you didn't touch on is it's a network. Your course
Yeah.
it's a community and it's a network. And that's not to be underestimated. There's people in there who, we can help each other land that next role. So
Yeah.
that's
That is
important too.
true. And I'll leverage that as well. And like we're just getting ready to launch like a new version of like All In Elite, like our, when you graduate, like we don't let we played with like letting other people like join and other stuff, but it just didn't feel right because it was like, yeah, they all got the PMP, but they didn't get it through the same path. And they like, there's something that happens. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's magical. Thank
that's
you.
good. All right. See you later.
All
Bye.
right. Make it a great day.